What's going on, my fellow idiots? Today we're going to commit a little bit of pizza heresy and make a pickle pizza. So if you're a pizza purist, you might not want to watch this one. But if you're not, let's get into making it. Now the first thing we have to do is make the pizza dough, obviously. So start off by adding in 4½ cups of bread flour into the bowl of your stand mixer. Next in is 2 1/4 teaspoons of instant yeast. And then we're going to add in 1 1/2 tablespoons of white granulated sugar. After that, we're going to add in 1 1/2 teaspoons of kosher salt, just throw that in, and then 1 3/4 cup of warm water heated to about 110 degrees Fahrenheit. And then last but not least, some olive oil. I'm going to pour in 3 tablespoons. I'm kind of eyeballing this here, so approximately 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And then we're going to affix the dough hook on our stand mixer, drop the head down, and we're going to mix all of this together on a medium speed for the next 7 to 10 minutes until you get a nice, smooth and consistent and fully incorporated dough that JP is inspecting in the background there. So after you've mixed your dough together, clean off the dough hook, separate the bowl, and we're going to give this a couple of kneads first before letting it rise. There we go. As you can see, the dough is nice and workable. They often are when we're making pizza dough. So all we're going to do is knead the dough by hand for the next minute or two. We really just want to work in the gluten structure, make sure that it's really nice and developed. After kneading for a minute or two, the dough should pass the window pane test. Hold on a minute here. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Rose wanted to help knead the dough a little bit. She's a great help. She's definitely wanted to get more involved in the videos as time goes on, and I quite enjoy having her and, you know, subsequently JP fooling around and helping around in the videos. So as you can see, she's trying to knead the dough here. Thank you, Rosie. That is a lot of help. So after you've kneaded the dough for a minute or two, like I said, it's time to do the window pane test. So break off a piece of the dough and then spread it out, flatten it out in your hand, and stretch it out with your fingers. If you can see light through the dough without the dough ripping like I'm doing here, that means the gluten structure is well worked in and you've got a perfect pizza dough. So form the dough into a dough ball in your hands, set it aside for a quick moment, get out a large mixing bowl, spray it down with some olive oil, and then we're just going to toss the dough ball into the bowl because this is where we're going to let it rise. Throw the dough ball in, swish it around in the olive oil, cover the bowl in some plastic wrap, and then go stick this in a warm, dry spot to rise. You're looking for it to double in size and typically takes 1.5 hours to 2 hours to do so. Now, while the dough is rising, let's make the white sauce for our pickle pizza, which starts off by making a roux. Now, to do that, we're going to add in 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter to a frying pan on a medium heat, melt the butter, and then once it's melted, add in 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Whisk the butter and flour together until it's fully incorporated. Allow it to cook for about a minute to cook off the raw flour taste, and then we're going to start adding in some whole milk. Now, what I'm going to do is just add in a dash here and there. Ultimately, we want to add in 1.5 cups of whole milk, but as you can see, you just add it in at a dash at a time. It'll start thickening up right away, but ultimately, as you pour in 1.5 cups of the milk, it will thin out, but all you do then is just continue to whisk this all together on your medium heat, and over the course of, 5 to 6 minutes on the medium heat, you're going to get a nice white sauce out of this. So continue to whisk it, and then start adding in some spices. So we're first going to add a tablespoon of garlic powder, and then a teaspoon of onion powder. I'm then going to add in a good amount of freshly ground black pepper, a few twists of that, and then we're going to add in some fresh dill to really bring out that dill flavor in a dill pickle pizza. So I'm using just freshly diced up dill, and I put in a couple tablespoons. After looking it over, I realized I should put some more in, so I'm really using like a 1/2 cup of fresh diced dill into the white sauce. So throw all the dill in. I also forgot to add in some kosher salt, so add in a good pinch of that. Mix this all together, and as you can see, it's starting to thicken up and make quite a nice white sauce that's going to be really nice for this pickle pizza. So anyways, after that's done, let's go back to the pizza dough. As you can see, it has doubled in size over the last 1.5 hours or so. So let's start making our actual pizza. You're going to deflate the dough with a nice little punch, pull it out of the bowl, and Rose has come back. She wants to play with the dough. So this dough recipe I showed you is good for 3 pizzas, so divide the dough into 3 roughly similar sized pieces. Now I'm going to just set one aside and set the other one aside here so I can make one pizza at a time. All I'm going to do is take one of my pieces of dough. I'm going to form it into a ball again, just for like 30 seconds. Just form it into a dough ball in your hands. From there, go get some flour, spread it out on your work surface, and then it's time to start flattening this dough ball out into a pizza. So I'm just going to use my hands and press it all out into a circle. As you can see here, it's pretty self-explanatory. Just stretch out the dough as far as it'll stretch. From there, we're going to pick up the pizza dough and we're going to use the knuckle method. So just move the dough over your knuckle, knuckle by knuckle, and just drag it and let it hang. The gravity, like the weight of the pizza dough, is just going to stretch it out. After you've stretched your dough out to about 12 inches, go get your pizza peel out and throw down some semolina flour. These act as like a ball bearing underneath the pizza dough so you can slide the pizza off of the peel into the oven, as you can see here. And then we're going to start putting the pizza together. Go get your dilly white sauce that you've made, spread out a good amount on your pizza dough, making sure to leave a crust around the edges, obviously. Once you've spread out the white sauce, go get some full fat, low moisture mozzarella. Throw a good amount of that on top of your pizza. Look at that. This is coming together nicely. I'm excited to try this. After you've put some mozzarella on, here, one more second, just a little bit more. And then last but not least, the pickles. So a good amount of sliced dill pickles all over your pizza. Now what you're going to want to do is preheat your oven for about an hour at 500 degrees Fahrenheit. Throw in a pizza steel or a pizza stone, whichever one you have. Let it preheat for an hour and then throw the pizza in on top of the pizza steel or pizza stone at 500 degrees Fahrenheit for the next 10 to 12 minutes until it comes out looking something like that. Look at that. That looks gorgeous. That looks absolutely fantastic. Nice color on the crust, nice and puffy. Like this, it's quite nice looking. You know what? We got to set this aside though, because I got to make one more. And as you can see, as I'm assembling the pizza, Rose is just devouring mozzarella cheese. I left that in because it's hilarious. Rose is just going to town on the mozzarella cheese, and now she's helping me decorate the second pizza. But anyways, let's go back to the first pizza and start cutting it up to taste test this. I'm excited to try my pickle pizza and how it turned out. It looks really good and it smells amazing, so bear with me here while I use my pizza cutter to cut this up. Watch your hand there, Rosie, we don't want to cut you. And then let's go in for the taste test. Look at that. You know what? For an instant dough, you know, like one that we didn't let cold ferment, I'm a big fan of the cold ferment, but one that we didn't cold ferment, there is some nice air pockets in that dough. Look at that crust. And with the first bite, this is fantastic. Fantastic. Nice and cheesy, a good amount of cheese. The white sauce on it is dilly and nice and creamy. Rose liked it. She ate a couple slices. She quite liked it. And the tanginess of the dill pickles with the dilly white sauce on it, they went perfectly. Look at the undercarriage on the pizza. Gorgeous color. I'm blown away at the crust, at how nice and airy and crispy it was for it being just a quick 2-hour dough. Now, to be fair, the dough would have been even better had you cold fermented it for 2 to 3 days in the fridge, but I was blown away at how good this crust turned out for, like I said, a quick dough, a 2-hour dough there and about. It was nice and crispy and nice little air pockets on the inside. Overall, this was just an awesome, awesome pizza. So you know what? Sorry, pizza purists, if you don't think that pickles belong on pizza, I'm here to tell you otherwise. And pineapple. Sorry, pineapple belongs on pizza too, but that's an entirely separate conversation to have. So let's end it there. I hope you like what you saw, and if you didn't, you know, hopefully you lighten up and try some pickle pizza sometime. But anyways, drop me a comment, like the video, and even subscribe to the channel. Thanks again for watching Idiot Proof Cooking, and we'll see you again next time.